speak to you about the American National Red Cross. But first, I have a question. Have you ever been faced with an impending emergency or been affected by a natural disaster? Every time you turn on the news, someone somewhere has been affected by a destructive force. It was 2010 when I had my first encounter with the American Red Cross. In November of that year, as I sat on my bed studying for a test, a storm raged outside. I noticed that my house began to sway in almost a circular motion, and that's when I heard it. A tornado was wreaking havoc in the part where I lived. After a few seconds, I was left in the dark, alone and scared. Next thing I knew, the Starkville Fire Department was evacuating everybody from the park. As I was walking along the road, a lady from the American Red Cross came to my aid. She made sure that I was okay and led me to safety. That one lady was filled with so much love and compassion for those affected by the tornado that I will never forget it. And it is because of that night that I wholeheartedly believe in donating to the American Red Cross, especially those chapters who deal directly with natural disasters. Because of the sheer will to help others without any type of reimbursement, I feel the American Red Cross deserves more donations and more volunteers, so they will be able to continue helping all those affected by emergencies and disasters. And tonight, I hope to encourage all of you to donate funds or volunteer a portion of your time to the humanitarian organization known as the American National Red Cross. Natural disasters restore the lives of millions every year. A natural disaster is defined as any natural event that kills 10 or more people and leaves 100 or more injured, displaced, or evacuated. In 2011 alone, there were 302 major natural disasters in the United States, with another 70,000 worldwide. In the 302 disasters in the United States, nearly 206 million people were affected, according to statistics from the International Disaster Database. Luckily, there's a positive side to these numbers. Since the beginning of the millennium, the number of disasters has actually decreased by 20%, and the number of people affected by disasters has decreased by an average of 10%. But with the good, there is the bad. In 2011, the economic cost reached a remarkable $380 billion. With this cost, 2011 became the second costliest year for natural disaster loss in history. It is because of the increase in the cost of disasters and helping those in need that humanitarian programs like the American Red Cross need your help through donating funds and the volunteering of time. Even when donation and volunteers are low, humanitarian organizations such as the American National Red Cross can use whatever donations they have to give relief to millions suffering. The American Red Cross gives relief, shelter, food, water, communication sources, and a shoulder to cry on to those who've been affected. Sometimes the last gift is the greatest, but each of these means something to somebody in need. And many people believe that there is a minimum amount of money and time that you can donate, but this is not true at all. You can donate whatever amount of money you deem appropriate or fits your budget, and you can also volunteer whatever time fits into your schedule. In 2010, my fiance and I began donating to the American Red Cross. We donate what we can afford because we believe wholeheartedly that our money is helping someone get back on their feet after being knocked down by disaster. But sadly, there are people who take advantage of this. There are people who in times of disaster create phony organizations and steal money from naive people who are trying to help others. It is because of these phony organizations that doubt and charities have arisen. But even with the doubt, the American Red Cross has remained steadfast in its beliefs and has been a blessing in times of sorrow. Sadly, though, the American Red Cross cannot keep doing this without donations and volunteers. Although society does fear being tricked by phony charities, the Red Cross never let the doubt get in the way of serving others. The American Red Cross has been serving people since it was started in 1881 by Clara Barton. A testament to its credibility is the fact that it has continuously helped those in need for 131 years. Forbes, one of the world's leading business magazines, lists the American Red Cross as one of the top 10 charities in the United States. Forbes also reports that nearly 91% of all donors' contributions goes to charitable services, which means that 91 cents of every dollar goes to those in need. And for the skeptics, the United States Better Business Bureau clears up everything else. The Better Business Bureau lists the American National Red Cross as an accredited charity, which means that it sends annual reports of the contributions donated, the expenses it has, and the charitable works for every year. Because the Red Cross provides this information to the Better Business Bureau, it displays the accredited seal. This means that donors and volunteers are promised that the American Red Cross will demonstrate a commitment to accountability and ethical practices. With a reliable reference from Forbes and the accreditation from the Better Business Bureau, the American Red Cross is a trustworthy, hardworking organization that has helped and will continue to help numerous people as they face emergency and natural disasters. The Red Cross is present to help those affected by war and all natural disaster. The volunteers in the field offer food, water, basic supplies, communication, and emotional help. The people who volunteer always have a welcoming and loving smile to greet those affected. I know this for a fact due to personal experience. But because of past phony organizations, there is doubt in charities. But the American Red Cross is highly credible. Both Forbes and the United States Better Business Bureau have evidence listed on their website that prove its credibility. Also, the American Red Cross is one of the few organizations that use 91% of its contributions to go to charitable works. The Red Cross is not a government agency, so it fully relies on funds and volunteers to remain operational. With a belief in such a noble cause, I challenge you to donate whatever amount of money you deem appropriate and whatever amount of time that you can to help continue the gratifying work that this amazing charity has accomplished. Thank you.
How many minutes was it? Did I mess up again?